It's a big story. Meanwhile, one big company to watch this morning, BlackBerry, the company doubling down on its mobile and security offerings, acquiring crisis communications firm AtHoc for an undisclosed amount. Joining us right now in a First on Fox Business interview is BlackBerry CEO John Chen. John, it's good to see you again.
Nice seeing you too.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what was behind this AtHoc acquisition.
What's behind it?
Yeah, why did you acquire this firm?
Well, they are a market leader in alert messaging services. And a lot of the agencies you folks were talking about earlier in the government, so forth, they all uses AtHoc's technology. And so we have a very secure messaging infrastructure. So we think that if we put the two together, not only do you do something that which have a very rich content, and to make it a more secure and more reliable system in a time of crisis. So we thought this was a very good extension of mobility.
And you have been emphasizing really doubling down on the security end of your business as opposed to the smartphone end of the business. Tell us about that and how you've shifted priorities at BlackBerry.
Yeah, I came in about 20 months ago. You look at the company, the DNA has always been security and enterprise. And I think, unfortunately, a few years back, we kind of wandered away from it a little bit. Now we're back in full force. And I knew that since then, we need to kind of hasten our development and investment in security. So we actually, organically, we have like we spent $100 million or so a year in making the security thing better. And then we went and acquired technologies company that could enhance the whole offering. So I think the first one we bought was Secure Voice. So this is the Chancellor Merkel was using to anti-eavesdropping.
And that worked.
Yeah, that worked fine. Right now, wait. This is after all the Snowden situation. So that worked fine. So she switched to a BlackBerry after all the events. And then we bought a company in UK that separated work and personal containers. So work doesn't know what you do personally and vice versa. And then we bought a company called Watchdogs, which does file transfer collaborations. Now we're doing a lot of movie scripts and all that, so that's been going collaborative in our system. And finally, last but not least, we just bought the messaging alert system.
John, do you think that people own your stock because they think you're going to get bought, or they want you to keep buying other companies?
Well, I don't know, but I could guess.
You have a better answer than me.
Yeah, well, I do believe that people see that we could generate values.
Right.
And with specialty in something, then you could generate a better value for the company.
Do you have any plans to sell?
I don't have any plans to sell, but people keep asking me this question. I think being a public company CEO, you run the company. You do have your fiduciary responsibility to listen to anything that's good for the shareholders.
Yep.
Right? But if it's up to me, I would like to have some more time to put the value back together. And if we put the value back together, the shareholder, if they have the patience, then they will. I hope they'll be rewarded even many times over. A premium on value would be always great. Right? So no, the answer is my job is to make the company, keep the company
increase shareholder value. So are you going to do anything about this? I can't tell you how many people that I work with or I know in my personal life who walk around with an iPhone and a BlackBerry.
So do I.
I use my BlackBerry for work, my iPhone for personal. I mean, it's been this way for years. I still love my BlackBerry for work. Are you doing anything about targeting that demographic? Maria does it as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit more complicated, but the answer is yes. The short answer is yes. And sometime in the future, when my plans get developed to a certain point, I'll come back again.
Kim Kardashian's BlackBerry obsessed, by the way.
I love the classic. It's the latest classic that you came out with, and I would love to see more emphasis on that. But I mean, Apple has run over everybody.
Yes, they've done a very good job in some of the ecosystem locked in, and people love to have the pictures and all the phone,
and the
music and all this stuff. The problem we have, is that consumer professionals like all of you are also consumers. Mm-hmm. Right. So there are things that you like about consumers, and there are things you like about professional. If I only that's a professional, that's when the problem starts.
Is your pitch though now with all of these acquisitions and the emphasis on security software and secure communications? Will this bear fruit? Go to a corporation and say, with all the hacks recently, with people's data and information being compromised, companies more receptive to you now than they were even 6 months ago in terms of selling that?
Company and governments. Governments that always stay with us because they take a long time to change. Companies is responding to us now. It's important to have our company doing better financially, so the other companies have the confidence in that. Nobody have ever really questioned our technology. A while back, they questioned about our viability. So if you don't think the company's going to be around, you're not going to buy their stuff.
Right.
But I think we're changing that. I hope I'm changing that.
Real quick, John, in terms of your streamlining process, where are you on that? There's lots of speculation in terms of job cuts coming. Where are you in terms of this cycle of cutting?
We are reducing jobs, but it's not so much as reducing. We're shifting it. So we're taking a lot of the hardware, handset business job. Traditionally, we made 4 phones a year. Or design, made, manufacture, whatever. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to at least cut it down to less number, maybe 2, maybe 1, but no. But I need those resources onto the security and software side, and so it's more of a shifting of resources and portfolio than just saying, well, we're going to cut jobs.
Are you keeping more customers? Is the goal right now preventing corporations from dropping the BlackBerry? Are you seeing that happen?
Yes, I'm seeing that. Last couple of quarters, we have last quarter I had 2,600 new customers, and the quarter before I had like 2,200.
And is the goal still in terms of growth outside the U.S. or within the U.S.?
Well, I like to make sure that we start growing in the U.S., so it's not just the outside the U.S.
All right, we will leave it there. John, great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
We'll be watching. Great success there. John Chen joining us. Coming up next.